You don't even have to get the job, but you learn from every single experience, and that is what shapes you as an artist.
Did you realize that we met 11 years ago?
Yeah, yes, we've known each other for a long time, yeah.
We met when you came to set a piece on my dance studio with Maria Conrad. Were you guys friends before you came, or did she just know you as a choreographer and wanted you to come work with us?
Yeah, I didn't know Maria well. I just, we met at Florida Dance Association, and she had asked me to come out there, and I guess that's when our relationship started to build.
That's when our relationship started.
Yes.
I took your summer intensive Arch Core twice because I loved it so much.
Arch Core 40 is a program that I do annually in the first week of July. And it's a program where I invite students to train with me for 1 week who are interested in commercial and concert dance. I want dancers who are ready for the transition of either moving to New York or LA or whether it's Chicago. I want to make sure that I'm working with 40 artists who really want to make dance a career choice. Navigating in this industry is tricky, and it's also emotionally,
Yeah.
it's hard. And
Yeah, absolutely. I think what I love so much about the program, first of all, is that it's set in the city where you are forced to find your way, like literally, physically throughout the city, taking the train, going to the auditions that you have. But I also think it's great that you're the one who is facilitating the program, because I think you do a really good job of giving honest feedback without projecting yourself onto it or what you think is right or what you like, the road that you have been on. And that was something that I really appreciated as being a participant in the program a few times.
well, I think all young dancers, they don't know what's ahead of them. And I don't know what choices they're going to make. And they might fall in love with one choreographer or one genre of dance. And I just want to make sure that you're ready for anything. It doesn't necessarily, I don't need you to turn into me, but I want you to make sure that, you're getting these emails and these phone calls for contracts, and you're getting a call back. You don't even have to get the job, but you learn from every single experience, and that is what shapes you as an artist.
So you're currently in New York, right?
Yeah.
And what is sort of the vibe of the city?
Oh God, there's no vibe. There's no vibe. there's a vibe in my house, but that's about it. No, there's
Yeah.
no. I think I had actually just finished working with Sacramento Ballet, so we were prepping for a show in February, and the artistic director had come into the rehearsal and said, we're going to have to cancel the shows, and our last rehearsal as a company is going to be with you. So that last rehearsal, I think many of us were in shock, and it was intense. And it was also sad because you're just, you're walking into the unknown and you don't even know what's happening. Right. And then, of course, I'm on the West Coast and I'm hearing things on the news of what's happening on the East Coast, but I'm not exactly sure. Like, the goal is to get back to New York City and not be stopped on a plane or not be shipped somewhere else for some quarantining that, I wasn't sick. So I just let's just get back to my apartment. It's weird not to take the subways. And it's, I'll be honest with you, the first 2 weeks that I was dealing with this, I was really, it was depressing and it was really tiring. I didn't know the first week I was quarantining, I felt maybe I was just dealing with jet lag from coming from the West Coast. But then I just was not motivated, and I am, misdriven. Like, I'm always doing something or I'm always busy. I think anyone who's in my immediate circle knows that. So I knew that there was a problem with me just physically and mentally, and I had to pull it together. So it was hard for me to work out. And I think the third And then of course you're scrambling, trying to get all of your courses. I teach at Yale and Columbia, and getting those courses under control to make sure our students would be able to end the semester on some sort of a high was challenging. And I think, all teachers can relate to that in regards to just adapting to teaching on Zoom, which is not really something that I have fully accepted. I know that's what we have to do, but it's really difficult for me, for someone who sees the importance of creating an ambiance and creating an atmosphere and experience when I teach.
Right.
For me to just teach a combo, throw it out to the computer, and not really know what the heck is happening on the other side. So that was an issue, and I think that's a huge part as to why I haven't been teaching on Zoom.
Right.
I see a lot of my colleagues teaching classes, and I get it. You want to, you're thinking financially, and you want to make sure that these teachers or these students, you want to keep that connection and keep that clientele. But I just haven't been able to kind of swallow that concept as of yet. And I also wasn't sure if it was going to feed me artistically.
Right.
So I just haven't done it. I started contacting dancers to do solo or duet rehearsals with me.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what kind of launched this idea of essential dance artists. And I'm trying to create a community and a network of simply just sharing creative space. So, and that is what kind of started getting my motivation and getting me back on track, because I was contacting dancers who I had never danced with, or who I didn't even know. So I contacted, I started researching dancers in Africa on social media platforms. So I would wake up in the morning and I would have a rehearsal with someone in Johannesburg or someone in Australia. And I had a rehearsal with someone in Kuwait, and we would spend 60 minutes, create the combination, and then they would have to take that combination and go to a place outside of the house, because I said no more living room combos on video, and they had to be in a space where it would reflect the country that they're in. And that has kind of been my inside project that has kept me going through this. Because I'm always on planes and
I think this is the longest you've been in New York in a very long time.
Yes, it is. Yes. And it's been emotionally nuts.
Yeah.
I know young dancers always ask me, how do you become a choreographer? And I always say that you have to keep creating. And this is definitely a testament to what I preach, because if I didn't have that, I don't know what the heck I would be doing right now.
Like when this happened, I was like, I need to get a full-time job. I need to have a salary. I need to have benefits like X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Do you think that this has shifted the perspective of being a freelance artist?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's a huge learning lesson. I think now there are dance programs that have faculty that have increased their level of curriculum, that have increased their how do I say that? Like, just you have your technique classes, but you have to take a film class and a history class, but you also have to have your portfolio management class. And all these classes are preparing young dancers to make sure that they are prepared and that they can be financially, successful. I think it's going to hit home for a lot of young dancers that they can't think that way anymore. You have to have these skills. You have to have computer skills. You have to, we don't know when this is going to end. So I'm hoping that they're doing more than just at-home living room classes, that they're like learning, if they're taking a Photoshop class, or if they're taking classes in, I don't know, Excel or whatever it is, in order to expand your knowledge.
So you touched on a little bit of feeling unmotivated at the beginning of this. What besides this new exciting project have you done to take care of yourself?
To take care of myself? Well, the third week, I was teaching a Zoom hip hop class, and I got hurt. And I don't really get hurt.
Yeah.
So I just realized, like, oh, I have to warm up. I didn't take yoga. There's no ballet classes to take. I clearly need to pull it together physically, or else I'm going to be a hot mess. So that's honestly what happened. I got hurt the third week, and I had to be like, oh, I do have to like work out, do some weights, run, find something to do if I need to. If I need to teach a Zoom class, I can't just be, having breakfast in my bedroom and then walk into the living room and start saying 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not going to be successful. It's not. Nope.
So this project that you created came out of feeling stuck, essentially.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to other creators of really any medium who are feeling stuck, who are feeling uninspired, feeling like whatever they make isn't going to get anywhere because the world is sort of at a standstill?
I mean, at the end of the day, we do this because we love it. Mm-hmm. And this project that I'm working on, there's nothing, it's not about making money. It's really, at the end of the day, is what feeds me and what will make me up. The only reason why I wake up in the morning is to dance. Mm-hmm. So if that's what it is, then you need to figure out how to make that your outlet and make it come to the surface, and you start moving. That's really it. Mm-hmm. If I started thinking about, I need this and I need that and this needs to happen, that idea may not have ever come to fruition.
Right.
I think I was rehearsing with one of my dancers in Miami, and it was really just for fun. And I was going to post it on Instagram. And then she said, I just miss being in rehearsal. And when she made that statement, I realized, I'm sure there's a lot of great dancers out there that just want to be in rehearsal.
Yeah.
That just want to receive material, work on material, and make it happen. And I was like, well, I want to create and I want to be in rehearsal. So let me get these dancers on board with me. And if they're down to spend an hour with me and they can tape it, it's easy. It doesn't take a lot of time out of your schedule. Right. And you kind of get that out of your system.
When this all first started, I was in this place of feeling like no one is competing with you for anything. So you should just make what you want to make because you like it, not because you're applying for something, not because you want so-and-so to see it, not, you know what I mean? And so, like the student you were talking about just wanting to be in rehearsals, I feel like that's how I felt being a creator. I was like, I just want to create. I don't care if it gets accepted to anything or if anybody sees it or whatnot. I just want to create, and I'll share it with the world because I have this platform to share it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's an even playing field. Mm-hmm. I think all of us as artists just kind of came back to a realization. It's a revelation of, oh, we do this because we love this, not because we're trying to like climb up to some sort of level that no one really knows what it will be or how it can be defined. Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely. For every door that closes, one will open. Mm-hmm. And you just have to show up and be present and try, and then the rest will fall into place. So if you're showing up because you simply just love what you do, then no one can take that away from you and no one can critique that. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing else to lose.